everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
Today we're covering the third season of the Bleach Anime titled The Rescue Arc, which is actually the Rescue Arc.
Finally the rescue.
Ah!
The rescue. The plot thickens as Ichigo and his friends are in a race against time to save Rukia from her execution, but things are not what they seem when the Soul Society is dealing with a murder mystery that will affect everyone.
And before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on future podcasts and Multipause videos.
One thing I can say about this series is that so far each season has gotten more and more exciting and had more twists and turns, and some things you could figure out and some that you couldn't, some that were like jaw-dropping, what the heck, and really just excited and grateful to Phoenix for recommending that we watch this anime.
Yeah.
It has not disappointed us on any level, and we're looking forward to watching more and more episodes and sharing the podcast with you.
Yes. And it took us a little bit to finish this one because I think there were a little more episodes than usual, plus we were watching other things at the same time. But eventually we finally got through because it got to a point where it was so exciting that you couldn't just stop after 2 or 3 episodes. You had to keep going, and each episode was even crazier than the last because you know, you're trying to get there. I mean, the second season left off with them, they finally found Rukia, but then they hadn't quite left yet. So when it finally came back, then I was like, oh wait, no, I haven't rescued her yet. I'm like, you just got there, I thought you rescued her. So now this whole entire arc was for Ichigo trained to get stronger so he could finally rescue her for real this time.
Yes, because last season we kept thinking, okay, he's going to rescue her, but we knew by the time we got to the last few episodes, this was going to carry over. And it wasn't straightforward. This is the longest arc I've seen on any anime or show where it's devoted to one thing, rescuing Rukia.
Yeah.
2 seasons of rescuing Rukia.
Yes, because I remember when we watched MHA when they had the Bakura rescue arc, it seemed 100 times longer to Mama because every week she's like, are they gonna rescue him? No, they haven't done it. Are they gonna rescue him? No, they haven't done it. Are they gonna rescue him? Like, Mama, it's only not that long. Come on. Well, you can't say that here because I think this beats that out because 2 seasons before they actually free somebody.
Yes, but again, it was dynamic, exciting, dynamic. It was crazy. That's the best way to describe it. Absolutely crazy. And we got to meet more characters and a lot more of the Soul Reapers. And now we've gotten to know which ones we like, which ones are favorites besides Ichigo. So
right,
it's just a great season. And
they keep introducing lots of new characters. In here, you get to see more of the captains and the lieutenants and people that live in the Soul Society, and you get to see a bunch of more backstories.
I said that except for the backstory.
Well, I guess reiterate that there's a lot of characters in here.
There's a ton of Soul.
And this is only season 3, and we got 12 seasons altogether, so that means there's still a ton of more people we gotta introduce.
And the fun part of last season, where at the end of each episode you would get introduced to a new Soul Reaper, was gone for this season.
Right.
Because it got more serious. And Ichigo got a lot more training, and it got a lot more real and dangerous for him. I mean, there were a couple of times where you thought he was going to be taken out. Now, since this series is already aired, we knew that he was going to live. But I bet when you were watching this and didn't know, you were like, oh my gosh, it's going to be the end of the series. Oh my gosh, is he going to go now? Oh my gosh, what's going to happen? So you really had that element of, I don't know what's going to happen, cliffhanger at the end of every episode, really not knowing what was going to happen.
Right. And then, like we mentioned, there is also this subplot or B-plot where one of the captains is killed and they're trying to figure out who it is. And you think you know who it is because, they want to make it really obvious, like, okay, you know who did it, you didn't trust them from the start, but as it goes on and things unfold, you really start questioning, like, is this person really the one who did it?
And then they try to pin it on Toshiro, who I like now, and it's, you're thinking, okay, he did it, and then his lieutenant, the captain that was murdered, Momo, and not Momo from MHA, not to be confused with Momo Horazu,
Right.
but her name is Momo, and Momo wants to, I don't want to say take revenge, she wants to avenge,
I guess, yeah.
avenge the murder of her captain, and they make it look like Toshiro did it, but someone's smart enough to realize it can't be true, and then he says, I've seen this captain's writing, this is being forged.
Right.
So,
and also they have a lot more action scenes in here. There's the one half of there's a lot more action here, even more than last season, because just about every episode almost has an action scene, minus the filler episode with the lion. And when they're leading up to Rukia's execution, it's sort of, as we said, race against time, and each time it gets worse and worse because they think they have this much time, and then they get to a point where, okay, it's tomorrow. It went from like maybe 25 days to 10 days to 24 hours. And it was like, okay, what did you just go now? And you were just worried, like, how the hell are you gonna get there in time, and you're supposed to have this much time, now they have no time. And then when they got to these different fight scenes, like certain fight scenes, they were regular fighting music and tension building, but then there are ones that like had me on the floor because all of a sudden they be playing this 70s rock music on playing the 70s music and groovy music while they're fighting, and the Soul Reaper's battling, and that's what they're playing. Like, this doesn't fit. What are you playing this music for? It's bad as the goofy music they play when they're about to do something hilarious.
But the music is perfect, and you don't realize until after a while that it's the same music every episode. It reminds me, in some other shows I've seen where there's a progression of the same music every episode, where it comes up when that particular part of the story happens, and we love the little fun music as well, but it's the same music, but it works so well,
right?
Even though it doesn't fit in some places, it works well. And we also get to learn more about Yaoruchi, the cat,
yes,
who turns out to be this beautiful Soul Reaper who has lived for a while, and she's pretty badass, and then you learn about one she's trained and the people she's worked with, and as I mentioned, we also learn about a lot more of the Soul Reapers that are there and the different units they have that are numbered,
and divisions,
and some of them are crazy, and some of them are loyal, and some of them are bloodthirsty, but all of them talk too damn much.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they tell you about whom they are and why you need to dread them and what they're gonna do to you.
You get the whole character biography,
and you're just like, just do it. And they just keep talking and talking. The only one who didn't talk a lot was Toshiro, and maybe that's why I've come to like him. Besides finding out that he's a good guy, he doesn't talk a lot. He just summons his Sanpakuto to do what he wants it to do.
You know,
he used to sit and go, oh, my name is Diego Montoya. You killed my father. Now I will avenge him. It's like he doesn't do all of that. He's like, okay, Sanpakuto, do this.
And that's it, yeah. Right. Like, why do you have to tell your whole biography before you destroy me? Because it's a lot to go through. Like, they had one guy doing his lucky dance and stuff. And they said, what are you doing? Why aren't you fighting? He said, how dare you not marvel at my lucky dance? It's like, right, all this time you could have just fought me.
And then we learn more about Renji and the relationship between he and Rukia, and then you understand why he was so furious that she gave her soul reaping powers to Ichigo, and it made a lot more sense. And then instead of us going, ooh, he seems like a bad guy, you know he isn't.
Right.
And I think that was what was great about this season as well, is that they gave you the illusion that these characters were one thing, but then you find out with the backstories And as the arc progresses, and by the actions that they undertake in wanting to save Rukia, that they are not the person you think they are, and it becomes more and more interesting. And then the ones that you thought were whom they were, it's the same thing. It's like the tables are reversed.
Right.
The guys that you thought were bad guys actually end up being good guys, and the guys you thought were good guys actually end up being horrible guys. So that's a real good plot twist all the way around. And of course, we won't tell you who's the good and who's the bad. So for Toshiro, he's a good guy. That's the only one.
Right, no matter what.
I like him now.
Right, no matter what, he's the good guy. But everything else, you gotta find out for yourself if you haven't watched the show already.
You also get to see more of the growth of Orihime and Yuryu and Ganzu
and Chad.
Chad
Sato. Yeah, Chad Sato. But the name's not Chad. Whatever.
And you get to see them grow, develop. You get to see them think on the spot, make plans, and they don't give up wanting to help Ichigo to save Rukia. And then you also get to see more of Rukia's backstory, and you see she really doesn't want anyone to get hurt trying to save her. You see that, and you find out why she has this I'm not worthy attitude toward the end of the season. Mm-hmm. And you're shocked about her backstory, and then you find out more about her brother, and it's just fascinating how everything unfolds as the season unfolds, and it's done beautifully. It's done perfectly. Yeah,
and with some
Captain Kuchiki, so speaking of her brother,
and with some of these characters, some of them are just so powerful that they don't even need to move, or they barely move, or don't move at all to unleash an attack or a blow incredibly deadly. Like with Rukia's brother and other characters
Captain
in here.
Aizen's the bad guy.
Right. And some of these characters, like, they'll just stand there, and the next thing you know, they're behind them, and they've already sliced them or something, and they haven't moved an inch. Mm-hmm. Or they got ones that can just look at them, and the spiritual pressure is incredibly heavy, or something happens to the soul, and they can just do all this crap to them just by looking at them. Like, just one look, and the enemy's down altogether. So yeah, it's not like everyone has a certain level of what they can do or their power level, but all of them are equally threats. Mm-hmm. Even when they fight each other, there's a battle. Even if they want to put themselves on a pedestal, and sometimes they say they're better because they got this, that, and the other, but they even explain of how much power one Reaper can have at a time, no matter what. So it's really interesting how they've set up this magic system.
And then one of the battles we can discuss without giving anything away, because you knew it was going to happen eventually, is Ichigo with Byaku, Rukia's brother. And Ichigo has learned how to summon the Bankai in his Zanpakuto. Mm-hmm. And he shocks him. I mean, he really, really surprises him by how he's grown and developed. And then Byaku's not going to be outdone. And then he does more summoning, and he says, "Oh, you think you've seen my sword? You think you've seen my Bankai? Let me show you the full awesome power of my Bankai, and this is gonna happen to you." And yeah, he does the same thing to one else, and he does the same thing and shocks Ichigo, who didn't expect to see what he's seen. But you knew this showdown was coming. You knew it was gonna happen, and finally in season 3 you get to see it. So if you haven't seen this, we won't tell you how this turns out, but I think you can figure out, since the series continues to go on, that Rukia doesn't die, and that's all we'll say. But as far as the plot itself, you've got to see the whole season 3.
Right. It's just a really, really fun and exciting series.
Absolutely. So if you've seen Bleach season 3, let us know what you think in the comments below, and let us know what new Soul Reaper you learned about during this visit that you have changed your opinions on and you actually begin to like, besides Ichigo.
Right. And tell us if you like the song there at the end called Happy People, because people were just dying left and right, and they just played Happy People at the end credits. What the hell's wrong with you?
Oh, we forgot to talk about, his sisters. We learned a little more about them as well. They actually had some episodes devoted to them.
Oh yeah, they were like little fun episodes.
Right, and you didn't get to forget that they were actually a part of this story. And
right,
so it's really, really fun.
Okay, and be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on future podcasts and multiple pause videos.
Absolutely, and the additional seasons of Bleach, as well as the dedicated movies.
Right. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Rascal Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.
And reporters sitting, flashing lights, trying to walk around, man. Who the hell are you? What you wanna do? Well, man, it's on you. Man, it's on you. Met her in my dreams. She was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket. Give it to you later on in the form of a locket.